decision making. And third, it needs to incorporate short-term and long-term perspectives and recognize trade-offs between effectiveness and efficiency. So what is the strategic management process? It's composed of the following: strategic analysis, strategy formulation, and strategy implementation. The first is strategic analysis. This involves the systematic evaluation of variables currently existing in the external environment and environments. This will bring together the right resources for the right markets at the right time. The second is the strategy formulation. This is the phase where designing strategies on the business and corporate levels. So there are various levels of management. So, for example, the operation will conduct its operational planning, the finance, the admin, even the middle management or the top management has their own individual management process, and they are also conducting various planning to really improve uh, on their management process. The third is strategy implementation. This employs the crafted strategies to achieve organizational set goals and objectives. This also calls for the application of appropriate monitoring and feedback system. So remember the three strategic management process: strategic analysis, number two, strategy formulation, and three, strategy implementation. So this is the strategic management process, and what are the things we hope to achieve of doing this? The first is strategic analysis. By means of strategic analysis, we aim to have what we call strategic intelligence. Um, it also talks about the capability of the organization to possess relevant and related knowledge, abilities, foresight, and systems thinking, such that it is able to assess its own strengths and vulnerabilities, the present challenges confronting the organization, as well as trends and opportunities. Now, the main purpose of this is to have strategic intelligence. The second is strategy formulation, and hopefully this will not hopefully, um, and this will really give the organizational competitiveness. This is the ability of the business to utilize resources optimally and sustainably for maximum performance and productivity. The third one is strategy implementation. This is the ability to produce particular good or service at lower marginal and opportunity cost than its competitors, and we aim to have comparative advantage through our strategy implementation. So in strategic planning, it's already has become a buzzword in the business world. It's a continuous, repetitive, and competitive process of setting the goals and objectives that an organization aims to attain, defining the means to achieve them. So, okay. Um, so what are the type of strategic plan? I think this is just quick recap to those who already know. We have two, uh, actually three. Um, Medium, second is long range, and third is the annual or the yearly plan. For the medium to long range, 3 to 5 or to 10 or more years, and it has got some long-term objectives, while annual or yearly is short-term kind of strategic. So, what are the strengths of strategic planning? It defines our organization's vision mission, and objective, di ba? Um, kinsa sa inyo maka-recite diri sa mga tagline sa mga bangko be, for example, BDO, we find ways, di ba? And through that, they they embody, with the tagline you have, they embody the um, core function, if we may say, the core function of the business uh, that is represented. So, other strength of strategic planning is that it assesses the milieu and specifies strategies to achieve their goals. How do you pronounce this? Milieu. Anyway, um, the next one is that it helps the organizations to stay focused and helps reduce the chances of committing mistakes. So these are what we call the strengths of strategic planning. And lastly, the efficient allocation of resources. With this in mind, when strategic planning is properly implemented and executed, it will really give the following benefits to the organization concerned. Provides leverage and competitive advantage. While strategic planning may have its strengths, it also have its limitation. The first one on the list, it's only good only in paper. And managing nga daghay plano walay human-human. Right? And but but with the private sectors, really they really take care of their plans because have yung negosyo nakatayaan. And it's really good to have a plan and even a backup plan so that when things go south, you really have a paper to consult, no? All that you need to do in terms of special occasions or emergency needs, you have a backup plan or a strategic plan that what you need to do. Second limitation is that it fails to follow faithfully the prepared strategic plans. Third is it's not flexible enough for changes and adjustments. And lastly, it entails costs that can be expensive. Yeah, really. Because strategic planning, um, apil na dyan, apil gikan sa budget, then you go to the operational side of it, karos ano nyo na siya implement, kung saan yung palitun, all of it. You really take into account and it, with all of this limitation, the preparation of strategic planning can lagi siya yung murag tawag nga murag na siya difficulties sa pag-take off ang full execution of a strategic plan. So to help organization achieve strategic direction, they need to articulate and have commonality in their vision, mission, and goals. See, so a vision is defined as descriptive picture of a desired future state, long term, why it exists and what does it do to achieve its vision. This is the mission, and its desired outcome. This is the goal. While the objectives are specific targets within the general goal. So somehow a kind of pyramid. So let me give you an example of the VMGO, what they call the vision, missions, and goals. No, di ata mo layo. Let us use the example of our beloved university, the Xavier University. What is the vision of Xavier? The vision is to be a leading ASEAN university, forming leaders of character by 2033. So that's the vision. So what is the mission of Xavier? So as you can see here, many are the mission statements or the mission of of Xavier. No? So it as a Catholic university, Xavier is committed to the proclamation of the gospel, blah blah blah. And as a Jesuit university, Xavier participates in the Jesuit mission of reconciliation with God, with us, with creation. So in some, in some, okay, this one. Okay, will not go. So let's see another example. How about the BMG or the vision, mission, and goals of McDonald's? The vision, una sa pamilyang Pilipino. So these are the statement. First, to respond to the fast-changing needs of the Filipino family. First choice when it comes to food and dining experience. First mentioned as the ideal employer and socially responsible company. First, to respond to the changing lifestyle of the Filipino family. So there is a vision that they are really first the una sa pamilyang Pilipino, pamilyang Pinoy. Well, the mission of McDonald's is to serve the Filipino community by providing great tasting food and most relevant customer delight experience. So that's for the BMGO. Okay. So this one, I think this is from Jollibee. Right. So the mission of Jollibee to serve great tasting food, bring the joy of eating to everyone. And this are the vision, the vision, no? Nagdilag vision. We excel in providing great tasting food, we're providing experience. Overall, uh, mas daghan pa ang ilahang, mas daghan pa ilang vision kumpara sa ilang mission. Ha? So, it is how the BMGO is really formed, no? Um, for every company, it really needs to define first what are its vision, missions, and goals before it can further proceed to what they intend to do with their respective businesses. So, so the business vision, it comprises of the core values, the core purpose, and the visionary goals. It's more of how vision is crafted. For the values and value system, values are inherent roots of motivation within an individual, an organization, a community, or a nation, exhibited by beliefs and attitudes. So, in our value system, um, it also play a very important part in the business. For example, it because it involves the dreams, aspiration, interests, expectations, and policy and philosophies. For example, sa Philippines, sa inyong tanaw nganong tamis man ang Jollibee nga spaghetti, diba? It's because Filipino are known for their, mas ganatag tamis, sweet tooth. Pero sa, 'di ba, kung makaka-count gyud katong legit gyud nga mga Italian, mga pasta, mga spaghetti, dili ba gyud tamis ang kuan, ang mangyana ang mga pasta, 'di ba? Because Jollibee is really what we call this, ginasut nilang ilang value system sa value system po sa Pinoy. Next is the organizational climate culture. Organizational climate. This is the regular and repetitive patterns of attitudes and behavior exhibited by employees. So that's mabitaw ng even sa XU faculty, nagiganakan ng mga team building, mga retreat for the purpose of influencing the organizational climate. So, the organizational culture, on the other hand, is the organization's customary dress, language, behavior, beliefs, values, symbols of status and authority. I think you know that already. So, before we end this presentation, let me share this quote. Daring ideas are like chessmen move forward. They may be beaten, but they may start a winning game.